Let's update.
I think that your brand of what it is that you do is harmful.
When Emmanuel Acho was checked,
Emmanuel Acho looks to me like the evolution of the take creature that I have not seen before, where it is very calculated for attention. And I know that Bayless, spawned that original. He's the OG of that stuff. But to see it evolved in a young athlete who's trying to get aggregated, like actively trying to get aggregated with things that he's saying, has a level of self-awareness in it that I think is surprising to me, to have it be that craven.
By Dan Le Batard and co-host.
The human algorithm, right? Like it's completely bred in this environment of have to have an opinion on everything, right? And that opinion has to be delivered with the gravitas of, I know a lot and you don't know anything, and I'm going to explain it to you. Here's how, right? Like that's every kind of take that he delivers is of that nature. And I think you're saying that he's self-aware. I think he's self-aware that he's delivering a take. I think he thinks his takes are impeccable. Like, I think he really thinks he's delivering. I don't think he's like, watch me shovel this pablum and watch them fall for it. I don't think he's thinking that. I think he's thinking, oh, I got him with this one. They're not ready for this. And instead, I think many of us look at it as that's kind of real banal analysis that you're given.
Amin Al-Hassan, one man who knows this guy, Emmanuel Acho, really well, is former co-host Marcellus Wiley. Now, Wiley has gone independent, which I love, after he left Fox Sports. So he saw the Dan Le Batard, Amin Al-Hassan clip and chose to weigh in as well.
Not boring. Acho ain't boring. The dude's a talent and he works hard, but he is calculated.
And let's be real. If anyone can provide such insights, it's him.
He became a mad scientist who went in the lab and calculated a formula to success. Because of that unfulfilled opportunity with that platform, NFL player, Acho knew that. He knew that he let go or missed out on that trampoline. So he went in the lab. And when he came out the lab, this is what you see.
Let's pause here. What we see is not appeasing. He is teaming up with pro-genocide author Noah Tishby. He's had ridiculous comments going after WNBA rookie, Chicago Sky All-Star, Angel Reese, that got him in hot water, which was a fair response to his analysis. Where even journalist Taylor Rooks weighed in and critiqued Acho. Okay? He admitted he doesn't care if his online videos are riddled with misinformation because, per his own words, as long as he gets views and followers and clicks from said misinformation, it will lead to more brand deals, a la more finances and a bigger pocketbook. He would tweet and subsequently delete, legalizing weed in track and field competition is all good if you're running a straight line. Legalizing weed in track and field is terribly dangerous if you throw the javelin. Where do we draw the line? Which Van Lathan would check him on?
You said that we couldn't have Olympic athletes smoking marijuana because somebody was going to get high and throw a javelin and stab somebody in the heart. My G.
That's hyperbole, bro.
What did you say? What did the tweet say? What did the tweet say, Emmanuel? Tell the people what the tweet said. Emmanuel.
Not the heart, but it was the javelin.
What did the tweet? Yo, hold on for a second.
The javelin
hold on for a second. That's hysterical. Like, I don't care, bro. That's so funny.
Hyperbole, though. What you just said was hyperbole.
What did you say? You said that the javelin was going to do what? What was the javelin going to do?
I said I projected the question of, it's okay if somebody's running wall high in a straight line, but what happens if they're throwing the javelin? I never mentioned anything about stabbing somebody in the heart.
Fine, that's
But
funny.
they'd be reckless with the javelin. Yes, he exaggerated at the end.
And you know what you know what you said to me when we were on the phone? You said that you've never smoked weed before.
Correct.
So you don't know what the you're talking about.
Additionally, he hosted Roger Goodell. It did not ask a single question that made him feel, per Acho's own title of his own show, uncomfortable. What it served as was how a bootlicking session to stay in the good graces of somebody that could potentially help you out down the road. That is what this entire video was, entire sit-down conversation was. Roger Goodell was actually very comfortable. And one of the things, there's more, but one of the things that I really like about Van Lathan is he will keep the same energy no matter what. He even said, I would be a punk in favor of a swear word, which I've been told I can't say. I'd be a punk if I didn't say about you to your face what I have said on my show. And he said that Emmanuel Acho is doing it the wrong way. And there is a reason why Roger Goodell picked Emmanuel Acho to go on that show, because he knew there would not be any backlash from Emmanuel. He knew there would be no fact checking. He knew there would be no interruptions to try and set the record straight. Emmanuel Acho, as Marcellus Wiley is going to tell you, understands how to play the game to a T, which in my view is journalistic malpractice. And he's probably not trying to be a journalist. We actually know he's not trying to be a journalist. But what it is intentional media deception. Look, if there's one thing that we do here, and I do here, I try being super objective and really honest in the way that we approach the news of the day. I try to give breakdowns that come from studies, that come from leading voices in their fields, that come from science, that come from different places where experts are weighing in or going over the receipts and a track record, a history showing why this person shouldn't be believed or why this person is in the wrong because they have a history of being in the wrong. With this, all it felt like was, hey, I'm going to let you say whatever you got to say. And I want you to do that. And I want us to cultivate this relationship. That's what it looked like. And it's not just me. I know I'm not alone in this. Karan J. Phillips would write of Acho's series, quite simply, it's a waste of time. It's a show designed to make white people believe that uncomfortable conversations are the answer, not actions, legislation, or corporate policy. It's true. It is true. As one of the people that Karan is talking about, I'm going to tell you right now, I see the world very differently than a lot of other white folks might. I think that's very clear. But when I'm seeing people who I know of applaud these sessions, it tells me a lot. And it tells me a lot about who he is going for, which is the center / right adjacent. He knows what he's doing. And he's, again, playing it to a T. A T. God bless him. There's more. And it would come from Marcellus Wiley. Here that is.
His process is this. And I know this because I know how I'm one of the most well-qualified people to talk on this one. Let's just say this is right up my alley. His process is this. I believe this. Whatever the topic may be. Now, I want you guys to research and give me the most extreme examples of what I'm thinking. Challenge what I'm thinking, but give me the most extreme examples, and I might use those extreme examples. So, right? So, I want to make a case that Paul George is top 10 in NBA history. Okay, first of all, give me all his stats, career stats. All right, give me anything he in the top 10 in. Oh, he is in the top 10 or something? Really? Paul George? Okay. And instead of you just saying, Paul George is a great player, no, I found something. I found a kernel where top 10 Paul George is. So therefore, I'm going to use that kernel to pop. And that's the whole bucket of popcorn, that one kernel. Wait a minute. Nah, he may be top 10 in that, but that don't mean he top 10 overall. Why wouldn't he be? And then you double down on the words. You say the same thing twice, 3 times, and voila.
He would then piggyback off what Le Batard and Amin Al-Hassan would say of Emmanuel Acho.
Le Batard and Amin said it as politely as possible, but this is the new way. Because everyone's trying to plug in to the brands, to the sponsors, to the audience, right? Everyone's trying to plug in. And how do you stand out in a crowded room?
Wiley would then give what I personally view as a tremendous piece of analysis.
Acho, the difference in him and other people you've seen in that crowded room is this. Acho doesn't just want to make a hit song. He ain't like Kendrick, like I'm going in there rapping my way, my style, my favorite rapper Corrupt. I'm about to just go. He don't want to just make a hit song. He more like Drake. He just want to make any song that's a hit. So basically, Acho is on a quest to do this thing and get his bread that he missed out on before.
Which, to be clear, in my view, I speak for myself, is a dangerous precedent to set for themselves. To do this, at least to me, is similar to capitalism. Make as much money as you can by screwing over and putting forth content in bad taste, intentional bad taste, in an effort to try and garner the most attention. So, as Emmanuel Acho tweeted and deleted, get more brand deals and get more bags. There needs to be some form of integrity in this business. Unfortunately, that has been substituted for brown-nosing and trying to get in the good graces of people who cut the checks and are really powerful. That is not the job of a media, but here we are in 2024, where all that people care about, mainly on this side of the aisle, is leapfrogging others, when really it should be about the truthfulness of a story. It should not be currying favors. That is not what an objective media does. It should be a watchdog media, not a lapdog media. And to that I say, which one are you? If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.